This video has been brought to you by Break Connect. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com. Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rock and Pro 41 of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, show about breaking, hip hop, and the business of. What's up, everyone? It's been a while since I've been on a live. The last live I had was with Dancing Doug, one of the original breakers or break dancers, if you know the chronological order, from the original Herc times. You know, he was out there in the Hevelo, Executive Playhouse, Twilight Zone, and of course 1520 Sedgwick. Really dope. Like, has a lot of information. You could check that episode right here on the Pro 41 channel. So that's really dope. And of course, I've been posting up old shows from the past when I used to be on Facebook. And again, a lot. Okay, as I said, man, this is one of the oldest B-boy podcasts out there. I've been doing The Trades since 2016, late 2016. And I've had a lot of interviews, and it was mostly on Facebook. And then I transferred to Instagram. But YouTube is a place where you can actually sit and listen to all this stuff. So I decided to pull some of those episodes from Facebook into YouTube. So I did one with Fast Break and Wayne Blitz, late 70s B-boys. And that's right here on this channel. I posted that last week. And I'm going to be posting another special one this week, because I think it's very important that, like again, like I was talking to our guest earlier, it's like I'm documenting all this stuff and eventually going to transcribe it. And we'll talk a little bit about that more later. But yeah, man, so I'm pulling out a lot. You know, got to give out to another channel, Dr. Derek Cologne of the Urban Exegesis. He's been really instrumental on defining a lot of stuff, especially with music. And I mean, that channel is doing its thing, and there's a lot of debate bros on that channel, and I happen to be on it a little bit just because I want to know the truth, right? And it's not, you know, there's a debate I'd rather not talk about, but because of the debates, a lot of dope information is coming out of it. And he just had Batch from TVB. So I put it on my channel on the community tab, so you can check that out. You can just go to this channel, go to, you know, if you're subscribed, go down my list, and you can see that I put it in the community tab. Dr. Derek Cologne, Urban Exegesis interview with Batch. That was dope. All right. So before we start the show, I gotta clean house first. Okay. So first of all, 65% of you are not subscribed. Actually, it's more. I'm lazy. This is I wrote this like 3 months ago. Actually, it's more like 80%. 80% of you are not subscribed. Yet you have watched the content and helped this channel grow. It went from within the last 4 months, it went from 500 subscribers to now at 1,117. And hey, I gotta thank y'all because you are helping it out. I am not yet monetized. I still need 4,000 minutes, I think, for it to be monetized. So you can help that by watching a lot of my old clips. And again, at the same time, when I asked for you guys, should I do shorts? You said yes, and that's helped the channel grow. But again, you know, there's 80% of you watching. If there was 80% of you subscribing, shoot, if there was even 50% more subscribing, you would help out the channel a lot. You know, we could up the production, and all goes to the channel for me to make better content. So again, subscribe, click the bell for notifications and what I have new coming up. The second thing is, gotta give a shout out to my sponsor, CBD by Zen World. Zen World. If you don't know about CBD, it is a non-hallucinogen. It is from the cannabis plant, but it doesn't give you the head high and the psychoactive effects. And what's good about CBD, it helps for inflammation, especially if you are my age. I am 47, still trying to front flip, still trying to air flare, still trying to flare 90. And I'm coming from a big, huge deficit. And my only edge is my health. And to calm down the inflammation so I can heal faster, I take CBD. So one is the Zen Hemp Nano Drops. You can put this in your water, your coffee, your sports drink. You could take it right after, and it helps with inflammation and anxiety. And if you don't like to ingest it, there is a topical. You have the Zen World CBD free. So this works like an ice hot, but again, what's different? The CBD. So it warms you up, but actually it heals you from inflammation. So again, check that out. Go to zenworld.com, get 10% off with the promo code PROFOWON, PROFOWON. All right. Now that being said, okay, before we go on, give a shout out to this chat. Joshua, I've been enjoying all the new and old content. Keep up God's work. Thank you very much. To the Gray Pill Podcast. They just hit 1,000 subscribers. Check their channel out. They are pretty controversial. Give a shout out to Angelus. Check them out. All right. So without further ado, now let me tell a story first of all. Let me tell a story. So I basically met this guy. You know, I was going back and forth to Asia a lot about 11 years ago, around 2009. And, you know, like I was kind of, you know, looking for my tribe because I didn't relate, even though I'm Asian, I'm Filipino. I wasn't relating with a lot of the Asian scenes out there. Like they didn't kind of understand my attitude, my vibe, right? They would listen to like Mariah Carey, like, and I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily relate with y'all. But you know, I met this guy, and there's like, you know, a lot of my shout out to Spider Monkey AG in Thailand. He's like, oh, I know this guy. He's a cool dude. So I had a few guys that I knew already that was cool with them. I said, all right, cool. So you know, like, hey, you want to go judge my event out there in Singapore? I said, okay, yeah, man, that sounds dope. Because I was already in Malaysia. You know, went across that bridge, and I found my tribe. Like I could relate. Like, you know, it was like, here's a glass of Hennessy, and we're listening to Biggie. Like, all right, you guys are cool. I like you guys. You guys are fresh. You know what I mean? And you know, I went to their jam, and it was really, really fun. And it was like 2010. So that's 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago. And I fell in love with that jam. I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the people. And it was something I just kept talking about over and over again as I traveled all over Europe. As I said, like, you got to check out this jam. You got to check out Rfjam. You got to check out Rfjam. You got to check out Radikal Force. These guys are fucking ill, man. These guys know what's up. You know what I'm saying? They know the vibe. They know exactly what the whole thing is about. So, you know, ever since then, they've, you know, the Radikal Force Jam has become one of the biggest events in Asia, right? Even though it's in Southeast Asia, it's like one of the biggest events in Asia. So without further ado, hailing from Singapore, we got my man representing Radikal Force crew. We got my guy, Felix. What's up, Felix? Mr. Hanchai. I don't know, General? I can't be a god, but I guess General? You're the Hanchai General?
Yeah, I guess.
The Hanchai creator? There you go. We got Felix from Radikal Force. How you going? How you doing, Felix? How's everything?
Good. Always nice to talk to you. You know, octopus times. That's
oh shit. Okay. Oh, we're going there. Okay, we're going there. Damn. I'm glad you don't have. I'm glad you don't have control of the StreamYard, because then it's like it'll be like random pictures and stuff like that. So okay. Let's do this. All right. So, again, I don't know if it happened in the live, but then again, one of our sponsors is Break Connect, and we're going to do the Break Connect clip of the day right now. And the Break Connect clip of the day, actually, I'm going to pull up a trailer from the Rfjam from 2019, the last one you guys had.
Yeah.
And it's the recap. So let's go watch that. I think that would be really dope to watch, because if you haven't been around the Rfjam, I think this is a good representation of what you can expect. So, where's my thing? Right here. Sorry.
Why are you holding your hand up?
Because I'm stuck. So let's go back, and I'm gonna blur out the music for copyright reasons. So yeah, so this is the Rfjam, the Break Connect clip of the day. And you can see that it's a crazy dance event, but it's a big on the last day, the third day, is a beach party. And I think, to me, besides the Yalta Jam, the Yalta Summer Jam, you guys had this as well as kind of the concept of having like kind of this vacation slash dance event. So let's open that up. Let's open up first with let's talk about Radikal. Like, how
Yeah.
did the crew come to be? What year it started? Are you the president, or did it start before you?
It started before me. So before I joined, if I'm not wrong, it started around 98. I kind of defected it to just be in 98. That was first generation RFB boys that were in Singapore, and kind of like they were like the guys that everybody was looking up to, right? They put me into the crew, me and Farhan into the crew late 1999.
Right.
Yeah, and we actually basically started out in a club. So a lot of the first generation, one or two of the first generation b boys were actually resident DJs in a club called Zouk in Singapore.
Shout out to
Um,
Club Zook.
yeah. So Club
Yeah.
Zouk. And one of the DJs was Aldrin, and he was the leader back then. And actually, he was part of the 80s movement in breaking in Singapore, right? So he was
Right.
part of the DBX Audio Files crew, and then breaking kind of like died off in the mid 80s,
Right.
and he came back in the late 90s. So in the late 90s, Eldrin was a DJ in Zouk, and then this other room in the same club was called Future. That was Andrew Chow. Andrew Chow basically just saw some of the guys practicing in the club, and he was like, "Hey, why do you guys just start a breakdance crew? Why don't you guys call yourself Radikal Force?" Right? That's what I heard. Right? That's what I heard. All right. It was no like magic name, thought behind it. It was just Radikal Force. That's what I heard. And so that's how the crew was born. We were practicing in the clubs basically when the clubs was closed. So that was like a big wow for us back then. And yeah, me and Farhan joined up the crew. Farhan actually was pulled into the crew slightly earlier than me. I don't know exact timeline, but I was brought in like just before the end of 1999 at this event at Future Club in Zouk that was called Quiet Storm, and it was a hip hop night. And back in the 90s, like, hip hop was really big. Everybody was doing like hip hop stuff. Graffiti was coming up, MCing was coming up. Breakers, that was starting to get a lot of b-boys and b-girls coming into the scene, and they were doing a lot of like these hip-hop nights in the clubs. So I got put down on one of the Quiet Storm nights because I pulled off some crazy like hollow back which made everybody go like wow, right? Yeah, so one of my crew members that's now living in LA doing tattoos. He works at Shamrock Tattoos. I'm not sure if he's still there, but he basically moved to the States illegally, and now he's legal. He
Okay.
got,
I was about to say, you're knocking on him.
he got his green card already, so that's cool.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So yeah, he was the one who actually put me down in the crew. Yeah, so in '98, and yeah, that was how it started. I mean, for me, I don't know how it really started, with the first gen guys. But like I said, that's what I heard, right? Just practicing, goofing around in the club when it was closed, and Andrew just basically went up to them and was like, "Hey man, start a crew."
That's dope. So okay, so I pulled out the Battle of the Year. That was in France when you guys went?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was I think 2012. I
Yeah.
mean, since we started breaking, like we've always wanted to go out. It was like our mecca, right? Like, oh, Battle of the Year. That was like the kind of like first few videos we ever
Yeah.
saw in VHS tape, back in the
Right.
day, and like always wanting to go out there. It took us, I don't know, we got there in 2012, so like really more than a decade later, then we finally got there.
Right.
We won a qualifier in India, the Asia qualifier.
That's
in India.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was a crazy trip.
So okay, so one of the things I want to bring this up before we get to like the business of what we have going on now is like, I think what you're like, from the story when getting to know you, the story I heard was that made you different from like all the other crews out in Southeast Asia, from Vietnam to Thailand to Taiwan is you actually started to, like, one, you went to Australia. You went to school there? You went to school in
Yeah,
Australia?
I was university.
Word. Yeah. So you went to school in Australia, so you got to see kind of the $7 guys, right? You got to see, and you went to Melbourne. Were you in Melbourne?
Sydney.
Sydney. Oh, you're actually. Oh, wow, you're in Sydney, which has, like, they have their own breaking history of their own. Like in Brisbane, they have the rapid fire twins and
Yep, yep.
all the and these guys who are innovators in power and stuff like that. But then, because they're like, because you were there and you met the $7 guys, it kind of helped you shape your style a little bit, right? And then from there, that's when you're like, I'm going to go to the States and I'm going to go to Rocksteady Reunion and AB. So let's hear about that story.
Yeah, so I went to Sydney for my university computer science degree. I got there on the first day, chucked my luggage at the place that I was staying, and immediately I went to look for a dance studio, which so happened to be only like 500 meters away from where I was staying. So I was super excited when there.
Damn, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
so I
really
mean,
close. Yeah.
so I obviously wasn't very focused on my education, but more on dance.
Right.
So I went to the studio, met a couple of dancers. First few people I met was actually Rush,
Word.
and
Shout out to Rush.
yeah, Rush, Vinny, and Hero King. Yeah. So after that, Hero King was about to leave. Fun fact: we took a road trip from Sydney to Melbourne overnight. On the way back, we crashed the car. We almost died. That was my first month in Australia.
Damn.
Yeah, and I got yeah, it was a very interesting eye-opening thing for me when I was in Australia, because the scene was really, really different from the scene in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And back then we weren't connected. You know what I mean? Like back
Yeah.
then there was freaking MSN Messenger chat, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, or ICQ. I was using ICQ as well. And the world wasn't as connected as it was. So trying to find out information about dance in Australia was kind of difficult. And when I found a dance school that helped me connect with a lot of the people in the dance scene over there, I was really close with all the SKB boys as well. At the start, they really took care of me when I first moved out there. And then slowly I started venturing out to other states like Melbourne, Brisbane and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really cool. I learned a lot about culture, kind of like hip hop culture from
There you
them.
go. Yeah.
In Singapore, it was we had hip hop culture here. There were writers, there were MCs. There was a breaking scene, but it was very, very different. It was a lot more hardcore in Australia, I think, because it was a bit more developed in that sense. Yeah, so I learned a lot from there, and it made me kind of really want to save money and go out to the States to kind of like check out more and learn more. I was super hardcore into breaking. Like breaking was my life. Like it was
Right.
breaking on back then.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen the footage too. You're like, oh, look at me pre-New York and look at me post-New York. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like I said in the beginning of the show, it's like, I refer, and this is no diss to anyone in Asia, but like, when I met with you guys like spoke to me. You guys were like, I was like, these are the guys I hang out in high school with. You know what I mean? Even though it's like, years later. And I really like the vibe. And when you had the second, actually I judged the second Rfjam, I had, even though me and Katsu were really sick, like if something happened, we stayed at the hotel and we all had stomach flu. Remember? Me and Katsu had stomach flu. Like,
I think I remember.
yeah, I was like running to the bathroom, like every like your mom gave me some pills, like, yeah, this is gonna make you feel better. And I remember me and Katsu like, oh, and he was battling, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Katsu was battling. I was judging, and I'm just like, it was me, Wicket, and
Yeah.
me, Wicket, and Red. We were judging, right? So. I was the one running. I think me and Red and Katsu were messed up. We kept running to the bathroom, and even with that, like, we had a stomach flu. I had a great time. Like, it was dope. It was a vibe. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah, you guys gotta understand. I think was that the first? No, we didn't see Sonny yet. Sonny from the UK. He didn't go to that one, did he? Yeah, maybe he did.
Not. I think not
Because
yet.
and that's the thing. That's another thing about Rfjam. It seems like you guys kind of like do the whole breakthrough b-boys and b-girls. It seems like they make their name at RF, and then all of a sudden they make their name in the world. That's from what I noticed, right? And then
That's
after
what
that,
that's what I hear other people telling me. So it's not me. I did not set it out to be that way. It just happened to be.
yeah, no, and that's it's almost like this is your first international event, and then all of a sudden you become fully international. Like people start see, but then like again, like I was there when before all that happened, right? It was like kind of like this was like if you were in that type of like if you liked foundation style breaking and you're outside of the US, Singapore was a place where you felt welcome. Like your style is actually welcome because at the time, 2009, 2010, a lot of people thought of like Asian b-boys as these crazy power move guys. But you
Yeah,
were
I
the
know.
guys that were just like, no, we like foundation.
Yeah.
Actually last year technique was out here and bounce was out here, and that's even a separate story. Like, like I knew bounce separately from you guys and I didn't realize that you guys were connected. It was like, oh shit, of course. You know what I mean? So it was really dope. And
That's
to
why I say
see,
like
yeah, go
Australia.
ahead.
That's why I say Australia really like taught me a lot, like a whole different aspect of breaking culture, right? I mean, in Asia, you are right, spot on, right? We were attracted to the big produced, events and competitions. We like the big stage, Of course, we practice and stuff, but I don't think there was a real cipher culture back then. So I think that's one thing that helped me a lot when I was in Australia and also in the States. There was a massive like cipher culture which didn't kind of existed back then in around Asia. It was kind of like breakdance event, go there, sit down, watch the stage, and then wait for your turn, kind of thing. There
Right.
was
Yeah.
that cipher culture,
Yeah.
and I think Australia and the States actually helped me a lot with that.
I think another big thing is that you guys speak English. So of course the music was easier to kind of like I said, I don't want to name where, but I went to one country and it's like you're listening to Sean Kingston and this is hip hop. I'm like I was like this. I don't know if you still use this word, but the word is cage.
Now we stopped using that word, but hey,
Okay,
it
but
has his.
it was a very derogatory, if you're from the boondocks, like, and like it was kind of like country, it's almost like, saying your country out, and it was like very like, okay, you like Sean Kingston and Justin Bieber. All right, but you guys are B-boys? Okay. Like, I was like, I felt like that, like,
No, so don't get me wrong. I think there's nothing wrong with liking Justin Bieber and listening to Sean Kingston. Just don't break to it during practice. You know what I mean? Like,
that was like, you know what I mean? Like it was very I just didn't vibe with it. It didn't.
yeah.
But when I met you guys, like I said, the first thing I came and went to the hotel and Uno, shout out to one kind. He pulled out like, a glass of whiskey and we're listening to Biggie and Nas. I'm like, wait, like, because I was in Asia for already a month or two. So
Yeah.
that made me go, huh? Wait, where am I? Am I back in the US? That's how I felt. And then, it's just like a bunch of Malay guys and a Chinese guy all wearing Dickies. I'm like, yo, I get these guys. I get
I
them.
brought I brought the keys back from the States.
See, that's what I'm saying. And what's crazy now is like all that look is coming back again too. That look right there that you guys had 10 years ago, right? 11 years ago. That looks coming back. I see it more and more with the kids. And I think that's really funny. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I vibe with you guys, and that made me kind of like I got pushed this event too because this is a fun event, and and what's funny is because you guys didn't concentrate on the big stage. You concentrated, like you said, on the cipher. Yet your event became one of the biggest events in Asia inadvertently. It wasn't even on purpose, right? I kind of just. So let's talk about that. Why do you think that is? Because everyone else was like trying to do the big stage, like Taiwan and in China, like everyone was doing these big stage events, but you're like, nah, let's keep it small. But for whatever reason, it was like, nah, it became like one of the premier events in Asia. So let's talk about that.
I well, to be honest, I you know what's the real answer, man?
What's
I
that?
couldn't afford doing big stage events.
Right,
I was in my 20s, dude. Like I had no money.
right.
How was I gonna do something like Battle of the Year or like pull off what Cross had done in like
Yeah,
15 years, you
yeah,
know, to that kind of level. I couldn't, right? I did
right.
what I could within my means.
Yeah,
There was no freaking sticker nowhere, no branding, whatever. It was just a venue with shit ton of people. Well, mostly b-boys,
right.
and like amount like girls that you can count on your hands.
Yeah,
At the And just inviting the guys that were around the region to come down and have a good time. And most of these friends that we met were, we did our event for our first event was our 10th year anniversary, right? So that was in 2008.
yeah,
So between like that time and at the start, I mean, we were traveling quite a bit. We got to know a lot of different people. I was in Australia. We came back. We won some Battle of the Year events in Singapore. We started getting out to like Korea, other countries and stuff, Thailand, made other friends, made more friends over there, and we decided to throw our 10-year anniversary event. I can't even remember how we connected at that point of time because the world wasn't so connected yet.
right.
And I just decided to come down, right? And yeah, our first event, at Korea, Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia, dudes that were all down. And it was a small affair. It was only like just a really tiny event at the National Museum of Singapore. I happened to know a guy that was working there. It was introduced by Koflo, and he was like, "Hey, like I can help to give you the rent, of this place instead of full rates at a discounted price because we know like breakdancing is like not a big money generator, right?" So we
Right.
just kind of pulled it off, and all the friends that we used to hang out with at different jams all just came down, and it was yeah, the beginning of something I had no clue what it would have been today,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Now we're looking at the footage from 2019, and compared to I pulled that little footage from 2011 to now this, like, and this is
And
over at.
this is just one arena.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Like this is still there's other events going on at the same time, but obviously this is a the 3-on-3 is a pretty big event, right?
Yeah,
Like for breaking and stuff like that. And of course we have like like the BC1 guys here now. And like I said, you saw that little, I mean, it's the same place, but like, that place is just packed.
yeah,
And again, without any intention of trying to be one of the bigger events in Asia. It's like now it's like if you win this, you have a rep. You know what I mean? Like you've gained a rep winning the Rfjam. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's crazy. Like I said, because I saw it when it was like again, I'm running to the toilet. Like I'm running to the first one, 2010. I'm running to the toilet, every hour, but I still had a good time compared to like now it's like, yo, you can't breathe in that place. It gets so packed,
Yeah.
and of course now it's 3 days too. It started out as 2 days, right? When I was there.
Actually, now it's actually 2 weekends, bro.
Oh, right, because you have the camp now too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But prior to that, when I went, it was just
two
it was
days.
just it was
Two
just two
days.
days.
Yeah, it started out 2 days and then it became 3 days just because we wanted to party more. I mean, me and my
Right.
crew, we were clubbers, right? We
Yeah.
love
Yep.
clubbing, we love going out partying and stuff like that. So that was it, right? I mean,
Right.
the jam was just an excuse to get everybody together, and the main reason was just to hang out, have fun, and like you
Yeah.
know, hang out, party, get
I
wasted,
yeah.
back.
I yeah. It was yeah. I think it was funny because I think for the lot of the b boys that were very serious, like I gotta train and our F jam's coming up, and then when they get there, they're like, huh, like. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like very serious guys. Like I'm gonna come here. Some people are like, I gotta make my name. This is the time I do it. And then when you get there, here's Sunshine with a bottle. Like here, fucking down this. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the dudes that are serious are still serious.
Yeah,
But I guess I hope the event kind of helped them loosen up a little bit and live life a little bit.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally appreciate like serious, hardcore, like high levels, high skill level breaking, but hey, man, like live life a little bit sometimes, and I think how RF has become, compared to a lot of the other bigger events, was that this is the kind of event that you can come to where you've been training your ass off like for a whole year, and come here, do your thing, and then after that, like, let loose and have fun.
Right. I agree. I agree. So obviously now we're gonna get to present day, right? So now that because that footage was from 2019, and it's already at I was at 2017 and 2018, and at that point, yeah, it's already a name, right? The event's already a name.
No, you were out
Obviously,
there. You came out, I think, in 2000.
I've been to a bunch, man. I went to a lot. I
Your
was
first
like
one was 2009, right?
2010. I went to the 2010 one. Then I went
Mm-hmm.
to 2011. Then I didn't go 2012, 2013. I think I did.
2013 was the one with when I first brought Kenny down, and it was the whole room with the graffiti.
Yes, I was at that one. I was with Totem, and then
That
I
was
went.
that was
Yeah,
a
that was
that
a
was
crazy one. That was a
special
crazy.
year.
Yes,
That
yes.
was a
Everyone
special year.
passed out at the pool, like. And then I didn't go 14, and I went 15. Didn't go 16, 17, 18. I think that was the times I went. But I'm one of the ones that went to the, like Just Rock. I think is the one that's been to almost every one of them. Like.
No, I don't think Just Rock came for the first one. He probably came from the
No, no, no,
second.
no, no, no. But he's like one of the ones that are like he's like the most attended, right? Like if
Yeah,
you're to
yeah,
give,
yeah.
Just Rock is like one of the ones. Um, so with that being said, obviously 2019 looked really successful, right? Then obviously, COVID happened, right? The pandemic happened, and everything kind of shut down. Oh, I don't know if I could say it, but whatever. I'll get demonetized by saying the bug. But
Yeah.
I'm not making money out of this anyway. But the bug happened, and obviously, if you've been to Singapore, and I'll tell you this, you guys have some strict rules. You guys have some really strict. For I could see why you guys want to party so much because there's so many strict
We're
rules.
oppressed, man.
In some ways yes, in some ways no, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think one of the reasons, like the best way
Chewing
I
gum
could
is
describe,
illegal.
huh? What's that?
Chewing gum is illegal.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Chewing gum. You can't bring chewing gum, into the country, the state country, and like stuff like there's such thing as caning.
Oh yeah,
Like it still exists to this
yeah.
day.
Painful caning.
So of course, when the bug happens in 2020, you guys are gonna be on lockdown for sure. If we were on lockdown in the US, you guys, if you can't chew gum, you can't spit on the street, right? You can't flick a cigarette butt.
I mean, you can, just don't get caught.
You get a $200 fine, right? I'm sure it went up
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, if you don't know, we still have the death sentence.
Yeah, exactly. For like just whatever drugs, right? Like it doesn't have to
Traffic.
be. There you go.
Yeah, if you a drug trafficker and you get caught with a certain amount, then you get
Yeah,
bye.
yeah, yeah. You get deleted. As the young people say on the YouTube streets, you get deleted. So, okay. So this is how strict Singapore is, and so it's gonna kind of be hard to throw an event as
Yes.
as crazy as yours. So let's talk about that. So now that things have loosened up, will it be in Singapore eventually again?
I don't know. Like one of the reasons, I mean, one of the main reasons why I moved out of Singapore for the jam and moved it to Vietnam. Number one, Singapore is just okay, the whole like bug, right? For
Yeah.
3 years, and then we're coming back. I decided to try something new. That's one. Two, I've been going to Vietnam since like 2008, nonstop. Every year for like 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times. Whether it's just for a short holiday or whether I'm invited there, to do workshops or judging and stuff like that. And I grew to really like the country, and the people. And I have really, really good friends over there. So I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do something in Vietnam. Now's the chance, right? Since, after the bug's gone, it's a comeback. Let's do something new. Always want to do something in Vietnam. And actually, the most important reason why I wanted to move it out of Singapore was because Singapore is just number one. Inflation is going off the charts right now.
Okay.
And Singapore is getting really expensive, right?
Right.
Flight costs are going up. Hotel costs. I mean, like pre pandemic, I was paying like $150 a night for a hotel room for our guests.
Yeah.
We fly in about 70 people, from the camp all the way to the jam. So that was a lot of money. We were booking around like 400-ish room nights just for all the guests.
Right.
And now hotel costs are around 250, $300 instead of 100.
Shit.
So
Right.
that's ridiculous. Food prices are going up. Transport's going up.
Don't tell me food prices going up.
Yeah, dude.
The hawkers.
Yeah, a little bit like, even like $1. Hey, I mean, like even just $1, for a hawker, like used to be like $3.50,
right.
$4.
For a good meal, like in America, we would be like, this is the best. It was like $3, right? Sing.
You can only get like a slice of pizza and a Coke for $1.
Right. Yeah.
So everything is going up in Singapore, so I figured, for everybody who was coming out to the event, they would be spending a lot less money on dumb shit like, hotels, food, transport.
Yeah.
In the country, rather than in Singapore, you know what I mean? I mean, imagine like if you were coming to Singapore for Rfjam and you had to stay for 5 nights, paying $200. That's $1,000, right?
Right. Yeah. True.
Which is great for the Singapore economy. Don't get me wrong. Like, but I mean, if I brought it to Vietnam, like 5 days hotel, you probably only spend $250.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one hell of a difference.
And the level of hotel is not that far off. Like it's for
right.
$50 a night, you can get a pretty nice, hotel.
Right.
I mean, if you want to go and stay in a villa in a 5-star, then okay, that's on you. But
yeah,
for something that you pay $250 or $200 in Singapore, you can get for like $50-$80. If you pay $100 a night, that's like that's nice.
Right. Dope, man.
Food's cheap. I mean, beer is just like $1. Food's awesome. Is nice over there, and
I have to agree. Vietnamese food in Vietnam is good. It's fresh. It's fresh.
So it just makes sense for everybody who is coming out. I thought that it would help. I thought that it would help the event itself reduce its costs. But it actual, like now that I'm putting everything together, it doesn't really reduce that much, like maybe just 10-15%.
Right.
But for everybody that's coming out, everybody saves a lot individually.
Right. I hear it. All right. So dope. So it's gonna be at do you have any promo on that? And actually let me pull it out on let's go to your IG. Let's go to the IG. Let's look at the Rfjam IG. And all right, so
scroll
I don't
down.
know if there's
the breaking news one.
Where is that? Oh, right here. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at it. So is there footage of it of the venues
city?
or anything like? Yeah, the city.
There's footage of the city, but not of the venue. Right. I mean, the venue is not important, bro.
Yeah.
The city is more important.
Right.
Yeah, this is just me. All right, it's coming up. This is exactly where we're doing the jam.
That's where it is? Oh, shoot. That looks crazy. Oh, damn.
This is exactly the city. This is exactly the city. This is exactly the city.
Oh, shoot. Crazy.
I wouldn't put up stuff that is not representative of where we're going to go.
Right. There's a Hanchai hotel? No way. Just kidding. Oh, shit. There's a Hennessy guy right there. It's Sunshine. If you don't know Sunshine, beware of him. He'll be there. All right. All right. So, okay. So now getting to what we're getting to, what I talked about. The other venture that's new during the pandemic is you got into tech. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Republic, and I'm gonna pull that up right now too. So let's talk about your app.
Yeah, COVID made me. The pandemic made me do it. When the pandemic happened, I think everybody was just. everybody had their whole lives halted, right? Like
Right.
especially all the dancers, all the dance event organizers, dance studios, dance event promoters. We were all stuck. Nobody knew what to do, how to proceed, and stuff, right? And in Singapore, just like anywhere else in the world, the government was constantly saying, right, during that period of time, it's like, hey, you guys got to pivot your business, to a digital form. You have to do a digital transformation of your business if you want to survive this entire ordeal. So I kind of like took that advice. And there's one thing about Rfjam that was always like super weak. I was always very focused on getting the live event together, and I never really focused on the YouTube channel. I never focused on online marketing. I never focused on building an online presence or a digital presence, right? And that was something that I was aware of myself, for RF, and even my studio recognized for a long time, right? Is that I was the weakest at online presence. And when the pandemic happened, that was like the natural thing to do, right? Like digital transformation, like start putting your mind towards whatever that you have and try and transpose it, right? Not fully move it, but transpose it into a digital space. So this Republic thing actually came about, with conversation with different people. And I actually kind of like sat back a little while and watched what everybody was doing, and everybody was kind of just doing live streams, right, of their event,
Yeah. Right.
with
Right.
no
Right.
crowd, and just I thought that was cool. Everybody made the effort to keep that going. I did my own live stream thing, as an online cipher. It was fun. But the problem with streaming was that it had a lot more tech involved, a lot more manpower, a lot more hardware involved. Nobody's willing to pay for streams. I think a few events managed to get some people to pay for streams, which was cool at the point of time. That showed that people actually wanted it. But I think now, back in this age right now, after the pandemic's gone, like I find you doing streams great for eyeballs, but it doesn't bring in any revenue, and
Right.
it's at especially at the point of the pandemic, right? It didn't bring in any revenue. It was just getting eyeballs. It didn't help the dance scene or the dancers much, except for keeping it going, right? So I didn't really want to go down the whole, like, produce a live stream show kind of thing, right?
Right.
I found it difficult. I found it difficult to find the resources to do that. So I was like, what can I do, right? Like, or to transpose, or to bring RF Jam and Summer Jam Dance Camp online, right? And it was tough, right? So the original idea was, I was thinking, hey, dancers are posting up clips every freaking day on their IG, or their TikToks, or their Facebook, right, of them practicing at home or practicing outside, or some throwback clip to when they were battling at some other event, or whatever clips that they're posting, right? Every day dancers are posting up clips. So I was like, hey, why not we just do an online like battle, right? So how can I make dancers do the same thing where they're posting up their clips every day, and make them battle or make them cipher.
Right.
So that was the general idea. So it was initially supposed to be a dance battle if app, right? Which I think I had not done my research prior to coming up with the idea, and then after a while, people just um, you know um, told me that there are some other people trying to do like dance battle apps already, which was like, all right, cool. So that the idea is there, right? And there must be some kind of like demand for it, and people are just like interested in doing dance battles online. So I started talking to a lot more people, and the general question that I got back was like, why do you want to do a dance battle app? I was like, well, I wanna try and benefit, do something that can actually help benefit like the dance community, since they're posting up on content every day anyway already, right?
Right.
Um, and they were saying, well, if you want to benefit the dancers and you're going to do a dance battle app, that's not going to help the dancers at all, because all the people that's going to be watching is just dancers, and it's not going to generate anything. It's going to be super small, and probably it's going to fail. So it evolved, and it became a video content challenge app. If you strip down the words and just replace video content challenge, you can replace it with breaking, you can replace it with popping, you can replace it with locking, whacking, choreography, makeup, rollerblading, skateboarding, biggest tricks, yo-yo, kendama, jokes,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
It's pretty infinite. It's pretty
Yeah,
infinite.
and that actually brings in a lot more people onto the platform and actually create some real value for the people on board, and eventually will benefit the dancers, because right now, like, you can see, like, we're doing a lot of dance stuff on the platform, and the dancers are going to be on the platform the earliest, and we all know if you're on the platform the earliest, usually you benefit the most.
Yeah.
So hopefully that goes according to plan. So far it's been great.
Yeah.
We've been.
Like, let's take a look at it real quick. I was, I only stay, as a dancer, right? I only stayed up, but this whole thing was, like, hey, light feats dancing, but then main character energy, POV, web out cosplay, like that's different. You know what I mean? Like
So all
all
these are
this
like different challenges.
easy recipes, like that's pretty cool. Like
I mean,
like
this is
I
nothing. This is nothing we've not seen before.
yeah, no, but I mean just saying in like in an app where it's just like people can actually vote, right? Like so that's the whole concept, right? You can vote,
Yep.
right?
We're closing the loop on challenges. Like if you go to TikTok and or Instagram and you do those challenges, there isn't a timeline. It just goes on infinitely forever. No,
Right.
and nobody knows who started it, who
Yeah.
started the challenge, even though it got super big, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no winner, so to speak. There's no ability to tell from a community standpoint what is good and what's not good, right?
Right.
So if you were a b-boy and you went on and you saw a b-boy clip and you can cast your vote and you can affect what's good and what's not, isn't that great, rather than it just being a random thing that's just out there constantly and it's just
Right.
all about views.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's slightly different, so we're closing the loop on that.
That's great. That's dope. I mean, you told me about this during the pandemic and stuff, and I was like, oh shoot, and I actually did a jump rope competition on there.
Yeah,
Um, and I
but we
think
did
this
it
is,
on IG though.
huh? That's
We
true.
did it
This
on
is
Instagram.
yeah,
It was
but it
sort of
was
like a test to see whether
yes,
people like
yeah,
doing video
yeah,
contests online.
yeah, yeah, and well, here's the great incentive that lines up to exactly what we're leading up to now, is that you came out with this app, and you're trying to start a community. What better way of like, okay, you have a reputable event, and has a certain style, like even to this day, like Rfjam has a certain style, like even though it has Red Bull PC1 guys going. um let's pull up that clip real quick. Hold on. Let's pull up this. So this is the latest thing. We'll play the commercial just a little bit. Hold on.
A chance to represent your country in the open style and b-boy 7 to smoke are all up for grabs for anyone who participates in the RF Jam Cypher Challenge on Republic. Reporter Han Chai King is currently at the scene with many dancers who are taking this challenge very seriously. How's it looking over there, King? Thanks, Felix. As you can see, I'm right here at the scene at Republic with a huge crowd of dancers, and things are getting a little bit crazy. So tell me, how do I join the challenge?
It's very simple. Just create an account on Republic, record a clip of your dancing, upload it to the challenge, and share the video with everyone.
Remember to get your friends to vote for you. Prizes will be given to the videos with the most votes and to the judges' favorites. So see you guys on Republic. Han Chai King, signing off.
All right, so yeah, right there, that's you have one of the reputable events in Asia, biggest events in Asia, and now you own an app. And what way to promote the app, and not just promote the app, for the people that never had a chance to experience it, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about this competition, this challenge.
Basically, I'm giving a spot in both the open styles and b-boy 7 to smoke. And the judges will pick who they want to represent their country. Flights, hotels, and entry tickets paid for. And then we also have four hotel rooms available for people to win, like 5-day, 4-night hotel rooms. So you can stay from the 16th of March to the 20th of March. For those that already have their tickets and they just need a little extra bump to help them with their finances for hotels. And I'm also giving away, I think, 20 pairs of tickets, entry tickets to the jam, just for participating on an online cipher. Of course, it's not a real cipher, guys. I know ciphers don't exist online, but it's a concept, right?
we
2022.
we get it. So okay,
I'm okay with ciphering online.
Yeah. I am not. No, but
But I mean,
okay.
to be honest, right? If I mean, you've been going through the clips because I kind of invited you to just
Yeah,
know,
let's yeah, I was saying, okay, so here's the thing. Oh my God, story. So when I posted the proposed pic, right? Because like Felix hit me up, is like, hey, I did this for another competition called Up and Comer. I'm judging in February. And they're like, the promoter Elprod came up to me. It's like, hey, when I release the invites, do a proposed pic on them because these are up and coming b-boys. I said, yeah, of course. And it worked well. So when Felix came to me with it, I was like, perfect. Yeah, dope. I mean, it's always hard for me to look for other people outside of my, my bandwidth. So it was dope to maybe get introduced to different b-boys and b-girls. But the funny thing is, like, I just was like, okay, I want Diaz from Predators and Apache from Southfront. And then Apache thought he won. he hit me up. It's like, did I win? I was like, no, this is a promotion. So just to get this straight. So every week I'm going to do a proposed pick. I'm going to pick 2 people from this registry. And then and it's not about your winning. It's just, I think you're dope. You might have like 1 vote, but because I think you're dope, like, I'm going to say something about you because that's the whole point of proposed pick. But yeah, Apache thought he won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, no, you didn't win. Like, this is Dr. K from New York. So he has 4, X-Fiends. Yeah, he has 4 votes. Then we got who's this? Then we got Fresh Bella, who has 4 votes. And this is what I'm saying. This is dope because you're offering this thing. Yeah.
It's a controlled environment. Like, that's the whole thing about this.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So how are they picking the winners? So it's not just votes.
If the winners are basically going to be picked by the judges based on their technical skill and their whatever that they've displayed in the video that catches the judge's eye, right?
Yeah.
So if you get selected, you're out of that, and then the topmost votes get the flight, the hotels, and then I think from 4th or 5th to all the way until like 20th or something like that. We have a picture over there where you get like free entry tickets.
Okay, so just
so to represent in the 7 to Smoke is completely judges pick.
Got it.
The votes is just a gauge for us to see who is up there and who is not. Of course, somebody way down the line with maybe even 1 vote might get the spot to 7 to Smoke.
Right. But okay, so yeah, just to make it clear, because they don't want to be like Apache. Did I win? It's like, no, you didn't. I just like you. Like, that's basically what I like you. I like the provost pick. All right. Until I say there's a competition that I'm judging, provost pick is about like, hey, I feel like you don't have a lot of exposure, so I want to expose you as someone that I like the style, right? Doesn't matter if you're good in battle or not.
It's provost opinion.
Yeah, it's my opinion, but it has
and it's just highlighting people in the community, you know what I mean?
Yes. And what I like about the app, again, is my bandwidth, right? There's guys from India here that I haven't seen, but I'm like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
He looks dope. Like, he needs, and for my platform, it's all about that too. It's like giving shine. So I just want to make this clear so that everyone understands, is that, and I'm probably going to use this on IG tomorrow, that if you get 1 vote, but the judges pick you, you're on the 7 to Smoke with flights and everything. Do the most votes get a flight?
Nope. Most votes get hotel and entry tickets.
Okay. All right. Cool.
2nd and 3rd most votes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's separate. So you could be like, yeah, like I said, there's a few guys here that might have 1 vote, and it's like, oh, that guy got on. That's the judges.
Yep. But hey, I mean, like, if you got 1 vote and you're kind of like not like okay, but not that great, then it's gonna be hard for the judges to find you, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Just get the votes up. I mean, at the end of the day, like, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is also just to keep this build a new community in here, and everybody kind of knows each other in some way, rather than us being on the other platforms where it's just so much noise going on, right? This is a very contained cipher where you participate, you're jumping in, and everybody just gets to know who everybody is, and by the time we all get to the jam, it's just a little bit more familiar than if you've not done anything at all.
Right.
I mean, like I said, like the prize is there, just as a prize.
Yeah.
But really, like the whole point of this online cipher is just having a new community where we know everybody's here just for breaking, everybody's here just for open styles. Everybody can see, who we are, and we might be able to get to know some people that we've never ever seen before, because Instagram is just so much noise out there.
And that's the thing I like about this too. You talked about like, well, I was there first, and I think that's very important, because the whole thing is, if you're here first, you're creating an exposure that, again, you're over flooded. IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, you're over flooded. It's like, there's a reason why everyone goes to Stance, right? Because like they're gonna pick, but then the challenge is they're always picking the same people, right? Because these people are getting flown out to the same events, so it's easier to cover them. Well, this is like giving you a chance, like starting all over again. Like I said, there's some names in there that have no votes or very little votes compared to some other people, but then it's like, why is this guy getting more votes? It's dope, because now it's giving a platform for them, and the other guys are checking every day if they got voted. Who's this guy? And
you see the psyche of psychology of some of these people, right? In Vietnam, they root for their friends. In Philippines, they root for their friends.
Right.
In certain countries, they root for their friends. In certain countries, your friends don't give a shit.
Right.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. But it's dope. But like I said, it helps me, because then even you're like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, I know that guy. So it's like, it puts me, because that's how it goes. Because if I'm on IG, like, it's already used to my algorithm. So I'm going to be looking for new guys, and it won't give me new guys. Yep. Because, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, I'm going to see the same people. This is actually, oh yeah, there's that guy. It's either I'm discovering someone new or being reminded of someone I already know that I need to give shine to. I think that right there is what's going to help, just period, like what this is, because, I keep saying this over and over again on this channel, is that at this point, everyone's decent. There's no one that's really like super whack. Like there's no such thing as like super whack person. Like you won't even, everyone's decent. And now that there's Dancing Doug even said that there's 30 million practitioners. Like, how are you going to stand out at this point? Like, good luck getting to the finals at your jam. Good luck, no matter how much you practice, the only way you can get good is actual like interaction. You have to like battle a victor or battle, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, Checkered Minds took out United, the B-Boys from Toronto, right? They had Sticks. They beat them. And Checkered Minds is just from Singapore. But the guys from Toronto, which was Ills and Sticks and I think Anton, they were like, oh shit, the fuck? Because now the Checkered Minds that don't get out as much, they had the opportunity to face, top quality. Now they got the experience, and that's the only way at this point, because everyone's good. The only way you're going to get known is if you battle someone good, you know what I mean? And you create a hot battle. And I feel like with this app, it'll help at least expose that part, right?
Yep.
Like you have other people watching you now. So that's
I mean, the end of the day is a cipher, right? Like the guys who just started out can also jump into, it's like I said, man, like the prize is just there for those who really want to gun for it. This was meant to be a cipher that, anyone can hop onto it, just have fun, see who is coming on, who's not, get to know more people, connect with different people, see different people from different scenes that you've never seen before. And of course, see the guys that you used to see that you forgot about. They're exactly like what you said,
Right.
And of course, I mean, Checkered Minds, they are currently, the top crew in Singapore, that's currently rapping all over, whenever that they can. And for sure, like, don't just think we're from some tiny ass country. We have some good people,
Yeah. And that's the whole, like I said, that's the whole thing, man. We're trying to create something. What I like about what you're doing, and this was for Rfjam too. Like when the whole concept of Rfjam started as like, we're doing something different than everyone else is doing out here. And that just created it to be big. And that's like, because a lot of the guys, because you guys were kind of like the underground b-boys, right? Like you guys were considered the underground b-boys, and that's why I liked you. I won't say underground. It's just a certain style preference that you guys liked.
There's nothing underground about us anymore, bro. We run
Yeah.
among the biggest jams in the world. There's nothing underground about it.
Yeah, but like I said,
now here, all right.
But the what made you different from all the other events in Asia was that we want to cater to this.
Yep.
And because of that, because you were niche, you're like, we're niche on purpose. It opened the door, and I think that's a good way to segue into like people that like instead of complaining. And my point is, instead of complaining, you created something. And I mean, honestly, that's the best way to like. If you don't like what you see, you create something so you can see what you want to see. You know what I mean?
I think one of the thing was, even though we were trying to do something that was niche, we also were out there constantly educating people at the same time.
Right.
Actively, like back then we were creating ciphers. We were hitting every cipher everywhere we went. I mean, we were at events where people were sitting down and we would be calling them out while they're sitting down on their asses and asking them to get up and dance.
Yeah, no, but like I said, it's like the thought of the Rfjam and the thought of the app is exactly what I'm saying. You're creating something that you want to see instead of like going online and going, this guy sucks. That's not real hip hop. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that bickering has been going on for ages. It hasn't been solved. People are still bickering. What's the point of bickering? Like, just do something.
Yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. And you've done it. And I believe with this app, it's going to be the same way as Rfjam. It's just after a certain time, people are going to just gravitate to it because it's something different. I think that's dope, man. I think that's dope.
I feel like I started this shit just to try and benefit the dance community. I mean, we've been using IG for like, I don't know, 15 years.
Right.
Never seen a dime.
Yeah. Well, I have.
Well, you just started saying.
All
right.
Yeah. Yep.
But most of it happens with like off-platform brand deals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
77% of revenue generated on all social content creators are from off-platform brand deals, and it's great for what it is, but I think there needs to be a little bit of tweaking,
right.
To benefit the people.
And like I said, you might start a model on that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm always into like taking a risk, doing something different, and that way it'll it might change these platforms to get with what you're doing. I mean, that's what happened. Instagram in the first place was bought by Facebook. Why? Because they felt a threat, because they offered something different. And then even that, because then TikTok started because of Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's this forever like inspiring and changing. And if you don't take the risk of trying to create something new, then, you know what I mean? Like, and you sit here and complain, I'd rather try and fail than like sit there and complain and do nothing, right? Like, so.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, like, to be honest, like doing this whole tech thing has been the most challenging thing I've ever done in my entire life. The chances of it failing is, I don't know, 95%, 99%.
Yeah.
But hey,
but like I said, like, every time I go into the app to look for it, I was like, oh, there's new people, as far as the breaking, because I'm looking for a provost pick, and it's like, oh shit, new people. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? So I think what you're doing is dope.
We never thought we would see,
And it's dope. And like I said, you had that promotion from Stance, so that probably like boosted up a little bit as far as like, as far as bandwidth and like and visibility to the jam, not just to the jam, but to the app. So I think that's dope.
Yep. Hats off to Stance.
Man.
Great people to work with. Yeah.
And they just hit 1 million on YouTube, man. They're the first like dance thing that's hitting a million. Anything a million independently. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Without any corporate sponsorship. So congrats to them, man.
Yep.
And they're an example. They're trailblazing for whatever I'm definitely what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yep. And I've worked with Stance before, so it's even better, like, because you can pull that up.
It's great to see. It's great to see like these organizations get to where they are. I remember back in the day when they first came out, I was like, who the hell is this like Daniel guy? He can't even dance. He can't even dance. Why is he like doing this channel and like covering us?
Yeah.
It should be for b-boys by b-boys and b-boys only. He doesn't even know about our shit. But hey, man, like he made it, and he
knows what looks cool.
Yeah, and he's super cool, dude.
Yeah. He knows what looks good. So
like the b-boy scene and community just steps back a little bit on criticizing other people. Of course, there are like the bad hats in the scene, right? We all know who the bad hats are, and those guys need to be called out. But like don't call out.
Yeah, like who? Just kidding.
Let's leave that for another day.
No, I'm just saying. My whole thing is, if you take on the challenge, then if you feel like you could do better than, go for it. Why not?
Exactly. But the problem with the scene, sometimes they just like to pull people down.
Yeah.
Nah,
I'm just saying, like, see what it's just like moves, man. All right, how can I flip that? How can I flip that? That's it. It's like anything else, like, like I said before, before I brought you on, like I was like I was one of the first doing this, and I don't have a lot of followers, but it's gaining. But again, I'm doing long form. I'm doing something totally different. I'm doing conversations, and not a lot of people. Not a 13-year-old guy that likes to do head spins. It's not going to sit here for an hour. But again, it's documented. That's what I like, right? I like these conversations because no one's having these conversations. And if they're on IG, the problem is I can't find them.
I know.
It's like almost an echo chamber. But YouTube
IG is not a place for archiving, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's instant. It's called Instagram. It's instant. I forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. You got a hint after 15 years.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. But YouTube, which is connected to Google, a Google search. Mm-hmm. If I want to look up conversation with Felix from Radikal, I could pull it up on. If I go on Google, I can find it. It'll link me to this. So dope.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And that's why, that's what I'm about. It doesn't have all the views, but I have the receipts. I remember when I said this. You know what I mean? So it's dope. That's why
you better have all of this that you're doing in a hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, actually I do. I'm actually pulling a lot of stuff. I mean, I was at your jam, and we have interviews with 2 people there. Everyone's it's here on YouTube. Everyone's like, when they see this, like, let me see his YouTube. Oh, there he goes. He interviewed these people.
Who did you interview? Paul, right?
Like, I haven't, dude. Okay, I'm gonna not say certain names, but I'll tell you who has been on. K1, Moy, Mouse, you, Rockstrite, Jeremy, Charlie Rock. Jeff Chang, who wrote Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Breakbeat Lou of Ultimate Breaks and Beats, DJ Shortcut, Lego, Wayne Blitz and Fast Break, Chino from Thailand, Crumbs, Remind, Lino, Heat Rock.
Fun fact.
Crumbs
and Remind were in Singapore doing a show for the telephone company called NEC. I don't know when that was, like early, 2010 or something like that. No. Even before I went to Australia, 2002, 3, 4 maybe. Yeah, and then we hung out. We went to the club and we were breaking. I had red dyed hair.
Oh shit!
Full fire red. Yeah, that was the first time I met Reminds and Crumbs. Reminds incredible, man. The guy is fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I have receipts, man. I have some people on my shit, and that's what's dope about it. I could always pull it up, and what we were talking, in backstage, that's the plan. The plan is to do that. You know what I mean? I had Little Caesar on the other channel, like, and these guys have stories, and it's like, man. And what's dope about for me is like I can see the timeline now. I can see it like clearer than just like the freshest kids. You know what I mean? That was it. That's all we had. Now we have access. Now, so my whole thing is being to document all this type of stuff. And like I said, this is for the 13-year-olds that are killing it right now. They're not going to watch this now. But maybe in 5 or 6 years, they're going to watch it.
This is boring. Old man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm trying to pull up clips, man. Trying to pull up clips.
What are these guys going on about, man? Back in the days.
Hey, I'm going to air flare. Okay, he's legit. That's stupid, right?
How to air flare?
Yeah, you can air flare? Okay, I'll listen to you. Okay, why? Should be listening to me anyway. Just kidding.
47.
Yeah. All right, we're about to wrap it up. It's been an hour. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Well, I hope everybody comes out to the jam next year. I think it's going to be one of the biggest ones yet. Well, big is not super important, but I think the funnest ones. It'll just be really, really nice to be able to connect with everybody after like a 3-year break. Hang out, do what we love, dance, party, get to know more people, connect. That would be super dope. I hope the scene continuously grows and evolves, and at the same time still respect history. But never stop progressing and never stop evolving. Yeah, that's I guess all I wanted to say. Nothing too philosophical at this point of time.
All right, and again, I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. Again, check out Felix's app called Republic, and not just enter the competition, but just check out the different challenges here, the different videos. Again, there's
check out the
gaming.
beatboxes, man.
Oh, yeah, there's cosplay. Look, there's cosplay, there's fashion, there's makeup tutorials, there's beatbox, easy recipes, photography. This is dope. Like, I didn't even know it was like that deep, and you got people on here. So it's like, I could just see that it'll keep growing more. And again, it's at the Republic here. Go to the, I can't do that. Yeah. Go to the Google store and look at the Republic app. Again, you can find him on IG, right? Felix Wang RF. Is that right? Cool.
I'm private now. I don't want to be famous.
Oh,
I privated my account. But
all
yeah.
Right. But all right, then if that's the case, then you could go to
write me a nice message.
I saw you on Profo's channel. But if anything, you could go to put this up. You could go to the Rfjam IG, and that's what that one's public, obviously.
Yep.
And you'll see my Profo's pics on there now, right?
Yeah.
And you for updates, you would want to go here too.
Yep.
Right. All right. Well, there goes Intact. That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a fun fact before we leave, I did the whole like breaking news things because I don't know if you remember, like when the pandemic hit, I did the news to cancel the event.
Oh right, yeah, I do remember that.
It's still on the feed, so that
shoot.
So it's continuing that thing, and I just like I said, right, coming back from a 3-year break, let's just try something fun and different. I decided to just make this whole like newscaster thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, just for fun, man. I was kind of bored like doing the same promo stuff over and over again over the past like 14 years.
Yeah, now I hear it. It's all good, man. You know what I mean? Things can't be always the same, My whole thing is like, like as I got older, I like what I like, and sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't. But the worst thing I could do is like hate on you for liking what you like and your transformation and your changes. Like, hey, as long as you're not hurting anyone, who cares?
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're not, doing anything against humanity. You're not some fucked up, demented, like crazy.
Wait. There's one thing I'm gonna wait. Let's watch this together. I want to react to this together, man. And I want you to take before we leave. We have to watch this. You know Mikey Disco, right? Have you seen his Boom Bap? You know how he's part of Boom Bap Kids now, right? You know the Boom Bap Kids?
Yeah.
The puppets. They're big on Twitch too. Oh, you don't know about the Boom Bap Kids?
No.
They're big. Like Little John watches their Twitch channel called the Boom Bap Kids, and it's them DJing, and they're all in puppets.
Oh, so
is Mikey,
this Shortcut and
well, he's been on it.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah. But it's big on. They're big on Twitch. They're super. They just interviewed like Tony Hawk and stuff, and Mikey Disco just joined the Boom Bap Kids maybe a year ago. Oh. Yeah, he has his own puppet. So he produced this Christmas segment, and I need you to, because there's jabs in it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, I gotta promote it, dude. I gotta promote it. It's fucking great.
I thought that was the Shortcuts thing.
No. This is their own thing, Boom Bap Kids. But Shortcut was on it. Like different beat junkies have been on it. They just interviewed Tony Hawk So they're pretty big. Like Little John is on YouTube talking about like during the pandemic, what you've been watching is like, I've been watching the Boom Bap Kids on Twitch, and that just gave them a big jump.
Why not?
Yeah. I want to make sure that when we watch this, we're going to watch the whole thing. And when I click on it, there you go.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Looking for that perfect gift for that special someone? In 2009, there was Dick in a Box.
Dick in a box.
Dick in a Box? Yeah, yeah. After that, they sent a dick picture inbox. Ew. This year, don't be a problematic dick. Send him a sweet mixtape.
Hey, did somebody say mixtape? Say hey, you so sausage boy. We are a byproduct of war. We bring that flavor to your fork. Say hey, you so sausage boy. We are a byproduct of war. We bring that flavor to your fork. Say hey, you so sausage boy. We are a byproduct of pork. We bring that flavor to your fork. Say hey, you so sausage boy. We are a byproduct of pork. We bring that flavor to your fork.
What the fuck?
That was epic.
Dude.
To your fork.
Bro, there's so many jabs, bro. So many little things.
All right, I'm gonna check it out, man. But hey, man, like I thought that was pretty funny. And to be honest, like nobody in the Gen Z era. Well, no Gen Zs will probably have heard of the Soul Sonic Force if they haven't watched this video and say, hey, what the hell is this like thing? And they go and dig deeper and then they find out it's like Soul Sonic Force, right?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's just kind of like, giving a little bit of shine in a comedic way to some of the, older gen groups that, made the music of their time.
I mean, they're sending, dick pics.
Yeah. And of course, there's the underlying, if you were in a scene, what was happening. Of course, with all the drama that's happened in this past, 3 or 4 years, there's so much, all right?
Yeah.
So we all know, right? The dick pic stuff. It's not isolated to one individual or individual.
Yeah.
It was a pandemic of its time.
Yeah. Yes. 100. But it was great. That's a great comedy, man. When I first saw it, I was like, yo. And he produced it. He actually produced it. He wrote the lyrics and he got a director to do it. And he's like, man, that Mikey's doing Boom Bap Kids. Shout out to the Boom Bap Kids, man. That show was great.
Hello, Mickey Disco.
Mickey Disco.
I call him Mickey Disco. He hates it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, bro. Yo, dude, this has been funny, man. I'm glad you saw that on my show.
All right, I'm gonna go watch a little bit.
There you go. All right. Again, you can find Felix on IG. He's on private, but you can you can hit him up if you need to reach out for any shows, whatever, consultation, whatever. You can find me on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades featuring Felix from Radikal Force. We're talking about the Rfjam 2023 out there in Vietnam. And go ahead and download the Republic app. Peace. And see you guys later.
I'm more fun.